Kinundina ng Malacanang ang naging pagsabog ng isang van kanina sa Lamitan, Basilan at tinawag itong isang terrorist attack. Nangyari ang pagsabog bago mag-alas 6 kaninang umaga sa harap ng isang CAFGU Active Auxiliary Detachment. Sa pinakahuling report, 10 ang patay sa naturang pagsabog. Ito ang sinabi sa CNN Philippines ni Lamitan City Vice Mayor Roderick Furigay. Dagdag pa ni Furigay, kabilang sa mga namatay ay ilang miyembro ng CAFGU at isang bata.
Ang pagkaano po sa amin na nung dumaan na yung van sa checkpoint ng CAFGU, so nung nahinto yon, medyo suspicious yung van. So yung isang CAFGU nagmotor kaagad, pinuntahan yung main area ng Scout Ranger para isumbong na dahil mayroong suspicious na van nasa checkpoint. So itong Scout Ranger natin, nag-decide kaagad sila na magpadala ng team. Bale, malapit lang naman yung distance. So nung dumating na yung Scout Ranger team nila, mga 50 meters away from the detachment, doon na, sumabog na yung van.
Tapos isa pa ho, Vice Mayor, kasi may report na suicide bombing. So ibig sabihin, dun sa van, may driver po yun. May ano po yung impormasyon tungkol doon? Dun sa nakasakay sa loob ng van?
Yeah, sa loob ng van, allegedly, nandoon yung driver na ayaw bumaba. So nung paglapit ng mga Scout Ranger at saka mga nag-surround yung CAFGU, so yun na, pumutok na yung van.
Isa lang po ba ang sakay ng van? Yung driver lang po?
Ganon yung pagkasabi nila, yung mga witness na survive, yung malapit, yun ang pagkasabi nila.
And could you also give us information dun sa reports na possibly parang foreign-looking itong driver? May ganon po ba?
Hindi ko talaga masabi sa inyo kasi hindi talaga makita yung katawan eh. Watak-watak lahat yung van eh. Kahit yung van nga eh, parang ano talaga eh, hindi mo makita yung van.
Tinatayang 1 kilometro ang layo ng lugar mula sa sentro ng Lamitan at batay sa inisyal na investigasyon, isang improvised explosive device ang ginamit sa pagsabog. Patuloy na inaalam pa ng otoridad kung sino ang nasa likod ng insidente at tinitingnan lahat ng anggulo kasama na ang naiulat na posibilidad na isa nga itong suicide bombing. Nakausap din ng CNN Philippines si Basilan Governor Jim Saliman. Anya, tinitingnan nila ang posibilidad na may kinalaman ang bandidong grupong Abu Sayyaf sa pagpapasabog.
Well, initially, the report, it was perpetrated by Abu Sayyaf, the ISIS group.
Sir, is it too early to speculate if this has anything to do with the recently ratified Bangsamoro Basic Law?
I don't think so because, we had been trying to, to quell the activities of the ISIS in Basilan, and every now and then they used to initiate, but a very small initiative. This is so far the biggest that they have done harm to Basilan after the declaration of the all-out war in Basilan. The declaration and also the declaration of martial law.
Isang press briefing ang nagaganap ngayon sa Camp Aguinaldo. Pumunta po tayo doon.
Was wounded while 6 other members of the 9th Scout Ranger Company were sustained shrapnel wounds. They were the ones called in by the CAFGU for reinforcement when he found the vehicle and its lone passenger suspicious. The total fatalities, 10. 1 soldier, 5 CAFGU members, and 4 dependents. Total wounded, 7. 1 CAFGU, 6 Rangers. DIP Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Carlito Galvez Jr. commends the vigilance and dedication to duty and the sacrifices of these gallant men. They have foiled an attempt to bring in a vehicle loaded with IEDs to downtown Lamitan City at the cost of their own lives. While we commend our troops, we condemn in the highest degree possible this yet another dastardly attempts of terrorists to kill, maim, and injure innocent civilians. The commander Western Mindanao Command, Lieutenant General Arnel de la Vega, commits the resources under his command to thwart attempts by terrorists to disrupt the peace obtaining in Western Mindanao. These terrorists will not succeed given the strong collaboration between the military and the local government that draws strength from the cooperation and active participation of the Governor Mujim Hataman and other municipal mayors not only in Basilan but the entire Western Mindanao. Local police and AFP personnel are not stopping their investigation, and they are pursuing every leads to identify and neutralize all those who are part of this abominable attempt by terrorists to kill innocent civilians and destroy properties. We call on our people once again to be vigilant and continue their active participation with security forces in reporting their observation. We encourage them to notify the members of the police and the armed forces of the Philippines in their locality should they have any observations of suspicious looking individuals or suspicious events going on in their vicinity. We count on them to help us, for us to be together in this fight against terrorists. This will be all for my statement. I'm ready to answer questions if you have any.
Na-identified na po yung foreign terrorist na naglalagay po.
For the record, we are saying that we cannot identify, we cannot say that this is a foreign terrorist or a foreigner driver because he himself was killed in the blast. The initial personnel of the AFP who had contact with this lone driver also succumbed and died instantaneously in this incident.
Do you think it's a lone wolf attack?
I'd like to ask you and our people to refrain from using terms such as lone wolf attack, terrorist attack, foreign terrorist attack such as this because these are speculations. Up to now, investigations are still ongoing and we should not preempt this by giving these terms that would definitely terrorize our people or make them feel unsecured. For now, as we have told you, this vehicle loaded with improvised explosive devices is being driven by a lone person. Na checkpoint natin ito because we have received earlier reports that says there could be improvised explosive devices that will be deployed in various areas and specifically in this area of Basilan. That's why our checkpoints in Mindanao were alerted, as we have always been alert, but we have been extra alert given this particular report. At ito na nga ang nangyari na checkpoint natin ito.
Sir, pwede po sabihin mga sa Abu Sayyaf, di ba parang inaayos nila pang gulo yung between the Abu Sayyaf?
Yes, we can say that this person, I have spoken to General De La Vega at ayon sa kanya, this person whose name, identity is not known yet, ay part ng grupo ni Furuji Indama. These terrorist groups, Furuji Indama, this group of Furuji Indama is losing ground. Swiftly losing ground. That's why they are now resorting to these desperate moves in order to disrupt the mass surrenders of Abu Sayyaf members in Basilan and in Sulu. In the previous reports that you received from us, pinakikita natin na napakarami ng sumusukong miyembro ng Abu Sayyaf. They come in groups with their firearms at ito ang gusto nilang mapahinto. They're losing their grounds. That's why ito ang kanilang resort na ginagawa sa ngayon, which we have foiled and we will continue to foil.
Sir, yung components ng explosives na
Ongoing pa ngayon yung ating investigation by the PNP and the AFP in the area. But for now, ang ating initial information, these are improvised explosive devices. Yung component, dinidetermine pa natin sa ngayon.
Sir, will you have recommendations kay Pangulo? Kasi, diba, gusto niya makapag-ayos na sa ASG and now may mga ganito.
Well, ang pwedeng makarating sa kanya, itong report ng pangyayaring ito, at it will really be up to the Commander-in-Chief as to how this will impact on the offer that he is giving to the members of the Abu Sayyaf group.
Sir, ito yung first time na nangyari ito. Meron na ito sa Davao, di ba? Way back in 2000.
I don't have in my recollection, immediate recollection, yung mga incident na ganyan, but what we can assure you about is this particular incident na masasabi natin na naging successful tayo, lalong-lalo na sa pag-implement ng ating checkpoint sapagkat na-foil nga natin itong attempt na ito. You can just imagine kung nakarating itong mga IED na ito na nandoon sa loob ng sasakyan. The report that we have received, yung impact area niya reach about 50 meters. So napakalakas nitong bombang ito, itong mga IED na ito, at we cannot just imagine how this the tragedy that this will bring to the people of Basilan kung ito ay hindi natin nahinto sa ating checkpoint.
Sir, let us clarify lang po. So, ang nangyari, sir, ang van ay may mga IEDs.
Yes.
So, sa initial investigation, sir, ano yung intention? Yung IED tatanggalin sa sakyan, ililipat in different places? Or talagang pasasabukin yung van?
Hindi natin ma-ascertain yan hanggang sa ngayon sapagkat wala naman tayong pwedeng matanong na ganon. Subalit ang report, kung maalala nyo, binanggit ko kanina, ang report sa atin, initial intelligence report was that there will be IED that will be deployed in Basilan or in key areas in Basilan. So, in-intensify natin ang checkpoint na ito, kaya natin ito nahuli. So, if we're going to deduce yung question mo from that, then we can say that the intention is to deploy itong mga IED na ito na nilalaman ng van na ito.
Sir, paano yung nangyari? Nabitawan ba?
Ang kwento sa atin ang nakapagkwento kasi dito yung radio man na tumawag ng reinforcement galing sa 9th Scout Ranger Company. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na wounded because as they were approaching the van, nag-explode na ito. So ang tama nila is shrapnel wounds. So ang nakapagkwento yung radio operator that called the SRC members. At ang sabi dito, na-stop yung van at chine-checkpoint na ito nung they found they saw the driver uneasy. That's why nagpatawag ng reinforcement upang tumulong tingnan yung sinasabing van when it exploded.
Sir, kalat sa social media ngayon yung term na suicide bomber. Can we clarify?
Opo. Yun nga po yung kinaklaro natin kanina at sinasabi natin, wala po tayong sufficient na basihan para sabihin natin ito ay lone wolf attack, na ito ay isang suicide bomb attempt, na ito ay isang foreign terrorist, sapagkat lahat pong yan ay yung tungkol sa kung ito ay terrorist, ito ay foreigner or hindi, cannot be established kasi lahat ng nagkaroon ng contact doon sa checkpoint ay namatay, kasama mismo yung nag-iisang pasahero na nagmamaneho ng van. I'm even discouraging us from using lone wolf attack as a term or suicide car bomb attempt sapagkat hindi po natin ito establish. Wag na po nating dagdagan pa ang pangamba na naramdaman ng ating mga kababayan sa Basilan. Wag na po nating dagdagan sa pamamagitan ng iba't ibang mga haka-haka, mga opinion at mga impormasyon na wala naman pong validation or verification. As of now, what I am telling you is direct from the commander of Western Mindanao Command who spoke to us at length and gave us all these details.
Sir, yung regional po na mapag-kwento po siya kung ilan po talaga yung pagsabog? Kasi IEDs po yung ginamit with F. One lang po ba?
Yung IED kasi nakalagay doon sa van. Hindi natin talaga nabilang kung ilang piraso. Alright? Kasi ang pagkakwento, nakalagay siya sa van. Nandun siya sa van kasi doon naman nangyari yung pagsabog. So the IED, hindi kasi natin mabanggit with certainty kung ilang piraso siya nandun. But what we're certain about, IED siya na nandoon na it could be triggered by many other possibilities. It is possible na yung mismong driver ang nag-detonate. It is possible na nag-detonate siya ng mga cellphone na hawak ng mga nagche-checkpoint. There are many other possibilities but we do not want to speculate. But ang malinaw dito, sumabog yung vehicle, yung van on the spot, and it killed our gallant men.
Sir, if hindi pa identified yung driver, a foreign or whatever, wala pa identity,
Wala.
paano natin na-establish na link niya dun sa...
Because of the reports na meron tayo na the members of Babu Sayyaf Group are planning to deploy IEDs. So, doon muna natin kinokonekta sa ngayon.
Sir, kailan pa lumabas yung mga intelligence na yan na may magde-deploy sila ng IE?
Hindi ko na itanong yan, yung information na yan, but it is sufficient for us to know. Otherwise, tatanungin na naman tayo na failure of intelligence na naman ang i-accuse sa atin if you are not able to report it. But the point is, it was duly reported and sent to our detachment commanders. That's why we were able to successfully foil this attempt.
Pero sir, martial law ngayon sa Manila. So, sinasabi niyo hindi naman resultan Manila.
Alam po ninyo, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kahit 1-2 tao lang yan, pagka may hawak yung granada, maghagis yan sa isang mga taong lugar, sabihin niyang terorista sila, that's already a terrorist attack or a terrorist activity. Ang sinasabi po natin dito, martial law is not the all and be all for security sa anumang bahagi ng ating bansa. Sa Metro Manila, wala namang umiiral na martial law. Sa ibang bahagi ng bansa, merong umiiral na martial law. Kaya nga ang ating panawagan doon sa dakong huli ng aking pangungusap ay ang patuloy nating pag-encourage sa ating mga kababayan ng patuloy pa nilang pakikipagtulungan sapagkat ang seguridad po ay hindi lamang tungkulin ng inyong pulis at sundalo, yan po ay tungkulin nating lahat at sa ating pagtutulong-tulong in our robust cooperation and collaboration with one another, mapiprevent po natin ang mga pangyayaring katulad nito.
Sir, ano na nakuha doon sa mga evidence sa explosion?
Yung mga ordnance and explosive experts natin, sila ang nandun sa lugar kasama ang SOCO, ang Philippine National Police, at nagpapatuloy ang kanilang pangangalap ng iba-iba bang ebidensya. And for sure, given the technology and the skills that they have, they will be able to determine kung anong mga components ng bomba ito. And that will be subject of future updates that we can give you.
Sir, yung lang the condition of yung wounded, sir? Ano ba?
They were shrapnel wounds yung isa. Actually, yung binanggit ko kanina na 5 namatay na CAFGO, actually 4 lang yun nung una. It became 5 kasi eventually namatay din yon yung CAFGO na yon. Itong mga wounded naman natin ito are already brought to the hospitals for appropriate treatment. Shrapnel wounds, so we hope that nothing serious will happen to them.
Sir, may batak na namatay?
Wala po kasi akong detalye doon sa 4 na dependents kung ano yung details sa kanila, but what we're sure about is they are dependents ng ating mga CAFGO. What I wish before we end, what I wish that you highlight in our report today ay kung paano po natin sa pagtutulungan ng local government at ng ating mga sundalo, kung paano tayo naging matagumpay sa ating ginawang pagpigil sa pagkapasok sana nitong improvised explosive devices na ito na sakay ng isang van kung hindi po sa dedication sa vigilance ng ating mga sundalo na naka-assign dito sa detachment natin sa Colonia, which is the road on the way to Lamitan City. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat at magandang tanghali sa ating lahat.
Ayan po ang spokesperson ng AFP na si Colonel Edgar Arevalo. Sinasabi po niya na ilan sa mga facts na pwede po nating o na nilang na-establish dito sa naging pagsabog dyan po sa Lamitan, Basilan ay number 1, meron po isang van loaded ng IED or improvised explosive device. Yan po ay sigurado. Isa pa po ay isa lamang ang laman ng van, yung driver. Ito po ay na-checkpoint. Nakita po na yung driver ay hindi po mapalagay. Ang sinabi po niya ay uneasy. Kaya po nagkaroon po ng paglapit dito sa driver ng van na puno nga daw po ng IED at dito na nangyari ang pagsabog. Meron hong at least 10 na nasawi dito sa nangyaring pagsabog. Hindi ko po naabutan yung unang part ng press briefing ni Colonel Arevalo, pero sa akin pong narinig ay isang sundalo, 5 CAFGO at 4 na dependents po ang namatay dito sa nangyaring pagsabog. At nananawagan ho si Colonel Arevalo na huwag daw muna gamitin ang mga terminong foreign terror attack o lone wolf attack dahil daw this will only cause panic sa mga residente dyan po sa Lamitan, Basilan. Dahil patuloy naman daw po ang investigasyon dito. Pero nauna na pong sinabi natin na kinukondena ng Malacanang na ang Malacanang mismo ang gumamit nitong salitang terrorist attack. Patuloy po nating imo-monitor ang naging pagsabong dyan sa Lamitan, Basilan bago mag-alas 6 kaninang umaga. Ang balak si Congressman Danilo Suarez na lisanin ang kanyang posisyon bilang House Minority Leader. Sa aking panayam sa programang The Source, inihayag ni Suarez kung bakit nais pa rin niyang manatili bilang pinuno ng minorya sa Kamara.
Retiring from Congress as Minority Leader is something that I visioned to wind up my career as the Minority Leader. Yeah, that's the only reason. Matagal na rin kasi ako lagi nasa minority and plus the fact, I don't want them to take my office. I build that office myself. Ako ang nagpagawa na.
Nangako naman si Suarez na magiging tapat pa rin siya sa tungkulin bilang minority leader.
This is not the first time that I've been there in the minority and I've been noted and been known to be a fiscalizer regardless of whoever is in there. It can be my friends or what, but I will always do my role as the minority leader. And proven na yun, may track record naman ako. You watch me and you can grade me and judge me later.
Yeah.
And see how I perform.
Pero para kay Liberal Party Congressman Edgar Erice, tila ninakawan na ng mga kaalyado ni Suarez ang taong bayan dahil sa pananatili nila sa minorya.
Ang tingin ko, ninanakaw ng majority yung karapatan ng mga mamayan para magkaroon ng check and balance sa Kongreso. Ang Kongreso, ginawa ng mamamayan. Para gumawa ng mga batas para sa mga araw-araw nating mga pamumuhay dito sa ating bansa. Eh ngayon, meron sila, yung mayorya, andun na sa kanila lahat eh. They have all the committee chairmanship, majority leader, deputy speaker. Konti na lang sa amin. Ito na lang yung karapatan ng mamamayan na magkaroon ng check and balance para mabusisi yung mga batas na ginagawa sa Kongreso. Ninanakaw pa nila yan. Hindi sa amin. Sa mga mamamayan.
Umpisa na ngayong araw ng recalibration ng mga taxi meter para ipatupad ang bagong singil nito sa mga pasahero. Narito ang ulat ng aming correspondent na si AC Nichols.
Inumpisahan na ngayong araw ang resealing at recalibration ng taximeters. Ito ay sinasagawa 9 na buwan matapos aprubahan ng LTFRB ang taxi fare hike noong October 2017. Kapag resealed at recalibrated na ang kanilang metro, ay maaari nang maningil ang driver ng 13.50 pesos bawat kilometro at 2 pesos bawat minuto ng total travel time. Mananatili namang nasa 40 pesos ang flag down rate nationwide maliban sa Cordillera region kung saan 35 pesos ang flag down rate. Matapos ang resealing at recalibration ay dadaan din sa road test ang mga taxi.
We just have to make sure na lahat ng buttons functioning. Kasi there were times na yung function buttons baka hindi intact or missing. So mahirap na once na naselyohan po yan. Hindi na pwedeng baguhin. They have to return to resealing ulit or to calibration para ikat ulit yung selyo, then do all the necessary corrections.
Target ng LTFRB na matapos ang resealing at recalibration ng 200 taxi bawat araw. Nanguna nga ngayon ang 3 taxi companies, Blacktop Corp, Dollar Transport Inc. at Agetro Taxi. Nagbabala naman ang LTFRB sa mga driver na hindi sila pwedeng maningil ng bagong rates hanggat hindi resealed at recalibrated ang kanilang meter. Para sa mga pasahero, ang indikasyon na pwede nang maningil ng panibagong rate ang taxi ay kung makikita nyo na may seal yung meter na parang gold ang kulay. At meron ding dilaw na sticker na nakalagay sa windshield na nagsasabing resealed na ang taxi meter. Umaasa naman ang mga taxi driver na kahit papaano ay may laban na sila sa mga ride-hailing apps gaya ng Grab. AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
Tinatalakay sa Kamara ang budget ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan para sa susunod na taon. Unang sumalang ang mga economic managers ni Pangulong Duterte para depensahan ang budget ng kanilang mga ahensya sa mga mambabatas. Nasa Kamara ngayon ang aming correspondent na si Rex Remite. Rex, ano yung naging pangunahing paksa pagdating dyan sa budget?
Tama ka dyan, Pinky. Ang pangunahing katanungan na kailangang sagutin nila rito ay kung sapat nga ba ang ginawa nilang aksyon upang makontrol ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin sa mga nakaraang buwan. Matatanda ang patuloy kasi ang pagtaas ng inflation rate hanggang sa pumalo ito sa 5.2%, pinakamataas sa loob ng 5 taon. Sinusubukan pa rin kumbinsihin ng mga economic managers ni Pangulong Duterte ang mga mambabatas na aprobahan ang kanilang mga budget para sa 2019. Sa katunayan nga ay nagpupulong ngayon ang mga economic managers sa opisina ni House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Pansamantalang sinuspinde yung pagdinig sa budget upang magkaroon nga raw sila ng tinatawag na lunch meeting. Pero ayon naman sa Bangko Sentral na naunang sumalang sa nasabing budget hearing, ginawa raw nila ang kanilang makakaya upang mapabagal ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin sa mga nakalipas na buwan. Ito'y sa pamamagitan ng pagtataas ng antas ng interes upang hindi na makumbinsing mangutang ang publiko para makabili ng sasakyan, bahay o personal na kagamitan sa mga bangko. Dagdag pa nila ay inaasahang babagal naman ang inflation rate tungo sa 3.3% sa susunod na taon. Ito'y tugma sa nais ng gobyerno na antas ng inflation na dapat ay nasa 2 hanggang 4% lamang. Dinipensahan rin ng Bangko Sentral ang pagbaba ng halaga ng piso kontra dolyar na ngayon nasa mahigit 53 piso na. Aniya, hindi lang naman raw ang pisong nakararanas nito, kundi pati rin ang ibang salapi sa Asia dahil nga raw malakas ang US dollar sa ngayon. Aniya, sa kabuuan ay nananatiling matatag ang ekonomiya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin. Pinky.
There is a ceremonial reenactment of the signing of the BOL on August 6 at 3:45. Now, we have also submitted, or the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office has transmitted yesterday to the Office of the Senate President and the House Speaker the administration's version of the bill creating the Department of Disaster Resilience, or DDR. The bill is anchored in government's experience with previous disasters, among them Super Typhoon Yolanda, and guided by President Duterte's leadership principles. The bill is envisioned to have a sole focus on natural hazards and disasters. It shall be guided by a disaster resilience framework that will deliver on 3 key areas: disaster risk reduction, disaster preparedness and response, and recovery and building forward better. The bill is a product of interagency work building on the salient points of the pending bills in Congress. Once passed into law, the creation of the department will be a significant step towards attaining safe, adaptive, and disaster-resilient communities by leading efforts to reduce the risk of natural hazards and the effects of climate change. On the terrorist attack in Basilan, we condemn in the strongest possible terms the latest terrorist attack in Basilan perpetrated in violation of our laws. We note that even in times of war, the attack constitutes a war crime because it constitutes an indiscriminate attack, which is prohibited by Article 4C1, attacks on civilian, by RA 9851, IHL Act of 2009. Good news on electronic exports. For the month of May, electronic exports grew by 2.29%, amounting to 3.13 billion compared to US 3.06 billion in May 2017, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. Electronics are still the country's top export products at 3.13 billion, contributing more than 54.38% of the country's total exports of US 5.76 billion. Among those products, semiconductors had the largest share at 39.9%. Questions?
Raymond Tenasa, Bombo Radio.
Sir, good noon. Sir, the Disaster Management Department will effectively dissolve the existing National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, right?
Yes.
So what would be the primary aim of this? I mean, considering that in NDRMC, it is composed of the DSWD, the Defense Department, the Department of Health. So in the new department, do we aim to get away from these departments that in one way or the other, minsan parang they do not work in sync with each other?
This is consistent with what the President said even on Marawi. No? Ayaw niya yung mga committee, no? Gusto niya someone is in charge. And the President made this very clear when the proposed bill was presented in the last cabinet meeting. No? So, of course, the bill adopted what the President wants. Only one person is in charge, although inevitably, there will have to be interagency work. Because the line agencies do still have their mandates, no? But there will be one person calling the shots in case of disasters.
So what about the budget? So the department will have its own budget, and it will not rely on the budget from its department involved.
Well, yes, insofar as a new department would entail new budgetary allocation, but no in the sense that the budget of the other line agencies could also be tapped, no, in case of major disasters, to supplement the budget of the proposed department.
So that's the only realistic difference, that there will be one head in charge of the disaster management.
That's a big difference because during the time of Yolanda, former Secretary of DILG Marojas kept on repeating, no one's in charge, no one is in charge, because under the current setup, no one is in charge.
Thank you, sir.
May follow-up? Other issue, a follow-up, in Andalong.
Sir, I'm sorry, but isn't the NDRRMC head, isn't he serving that purpose?
Well, I do not know, but I saw that actually, that TV footage. I think the problem is they're supposed to be consultative. So what they do is they consult, and when there's a natural disaster and there's no one to consult with anyone, there's paralysis. No? So this time, there's someone in charge.
Other issue, Joseph Morong.
Sir, yung sa Basilan, are we calling it a... No, muna. Why did you highlight that it's a war crime?
It's an indiscriminate attack. No? It's a fact that Basilan, of course, is an area with a non-international armed conflict, and there's already a domestic law on international humanitarian law. So under IHL, you must limit your attacks pursuant to military objective, you must limit it to military targets, and you must avoid protected individuals, including civilians.
Okay, so how does this fit with the president's statement that he wants to talk to Dabosea? First off, is the palace established that the ESG is behind this?
We do not know who's behind it yet. They're still investigating.
So pretty much you're paying question whether...
And of course, yesterday I clarified that the president, of course, is enjoining individual fighters of the ESG to surrender, because they can still be accommodated as surrenderies, in the same way that we're accepting surrenderies from the NPA and the MILF.
Okay, sir, a minute.
Follow-up? Other issue, follow-up, Raymond Tenasa.
So parang hindi ba ito parang insulto doon sa intelligence community natin, considering na it happened na ngayon it's the 60th anniversary of the National Security Council and the 69th anniversary of NICA?
I do not know if it's an insult. It shouldn't have happened. It's illegal use of force, even in times of armed conflicts. And of course, IHL as a legal system predates even the establishment of modern-day republics. No?
So, yeah. Paano nakalusot, sir? Mayroong existing martial law doon sa Mindanao?
I do not know how it happened, but what I'm saying is illegal acts will happen whether or not we have intelligence communities. But perhaps, one thing that the military and security establishment must look into is their intelligence capability.
Thank you, sir.
Follow-up? Other issue? Alvin Baltasar.
Good morning, Secretary. Sir, may development doon sa Senate tungkol doon sa Train 2. Apparently, si Senate President Tito Soto na-enlighten na tungkol doon sa Train 2 and promised to push for the passage for the second phase of Train 2. Reaction lang, sir.
Well, nagagalak naman po kami kasi napakinggan ko yung interview na yan. At gaya ng sinabi ko kahapon, hindi po nagpapataw ng bagong buwis itong Train 2. Ito po yung nagbababa ng corporate income tax at inaalis din yung mga pribilehiyo na hindi pagbabayad ng ilang mga locators sa ilang mga economic zones. So, linelevel lang po natin ang playing field, pero at the same time, binababa po natin ang tax burden ng mga korporasyon para makinabang din yung mga nagtatrabaho sa mga korporasyon na ito.
May follow-up?
So after this development, pronouncement from the Senate President himself, palagay niyo ba, sir, magiging tuloy-tuloy na?
Gaya ng sinabi ko, kinakailangan lang i-explain ng mabuti kung ano yung objective ng Train 2 at tingin ko naman sasang-ayon ng ating mga mambabatas.
RJ?
Sir, on Boracay. Sir, given the policy of the president, which is not allowing foreign casino firms to do business on the island of Boracay, does the government expect foreign and local investors to be happy with this policy?
Well, I think what the president has said is that he will not allow casinos.
Mhm.
All other investments are otherwise welcome into Boracay.
Why not casinos, sir?
Because the president does not like casinos as a matter of public policy. No, it is contrary to good morals. No, it encourages a vice. No, which is gambling.
Under federalism, sir, when do we expect this? By 2021 or 2022?
Are we talking about casinos or federalism?
No, no,
So we're talking of a completely different topic now.
No, it's not, sir. Just follow up.
Follow up. I don't understand.
Sir, under federalism kasi, local government units will have more autonomy to decide which firms to welcome in their areas, just like Boracay. Will the president intervene once they decide to welcome these casino firms?
Well, I think I do not know yet what the relationship between the law creating PAGCOR and the federal government will be, no? But under existing jurisprudence, although we have local autonomy, the court has ruled time and again, no, that because of the national franchise or charter of the PAGCOR, local governments cannot contravene or oppose, no, decisions made by PAGCOR. So sa ngayon po, yan ang batas, no? Hindi lang po natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa pag nagkaroon ng federal form of government.
Okay, sir. So you're saying that it's not sure yet whether they will have a chance under federalism?
Well, kasi magkakaroon ng conflict of law issue dyan, no? So ano yung epekto ng mga laws gaya ng laws providing for the charter of PAGCOR doon sa mga decision ng local governments under a federal constitution. I think this will have to be resolved by the Constitutional Court that the consultative committee wishes to establish.
Thank you, sir.
May follow up? Joy Balancio?
Sir, follow up lang dun sa warrant of arrest kay Anti-Poverty Commissioner Secretary Lisa Masa. Ano balak na Malacanang? Will she be replaced or are you urging her to surrender?
Well, siyempre po, no, yung mga warrants of arrest naman po yan ay lawfully issued by a trial court, if I'm not mistaken, in Nueva Ecija, no? So, if they are innocent, then they should in fact surrender, recognize the jurisdiction of the court, and prove their innocence in court. That's what we expect from everyone.
Ano pong plano natin given na incumbent secretary din po siya?
Wala pa pong nababanggit ang Pangulo. Other than, we expect particularly cabinet members to adhere to the rule of law in this country.
Other issue, Christine Avendano?
So, sir, anong,
Sir, anong status po ngayon ni Lisa Masa?
She hasn't been fired, but because she's wanted, she may become a fugitive if she doesn't surrender, no? And if she goes on a wall, absence without leave, then the president will have to decide on her continuing appointment if need be, no? Because she cannot be absent, no? Her office is very critical to the fight against poverty, and we cannot have a secretary who is a fugitive from the law.
Other issue, Christine? Same, okay, Christine.
So, sir, she's still reporting for work.
I don't know if she's reporting, but she has to surrender physically to the regional trial court, no? Because there's a warrant of arrest.
So there's no instruction for her not to go to work or something, sir?
Well, she has to heed the warrant of arrest. Not even the president can interfere in our judicial process.
When was the last time, though, did she report? When was the last time she reported for work, sir?
I do not know because I have never seen her in any cabinet meeting.
Ever since, sir?
Never. Ever since I joined the cabinet, I've not seen her attend any cabinet meeting.
But she's still part of NAPSI.
She's still part of NAPSI as far as I know, but as I said, since I came on board, I've not seen her attend any cabinet meeting.
Sir, also the militant groups are saying that the administration is politically persecuting the foreign Nayana leaders.
Well,
any response to that?
We have to respect the judicial process. The same thing with Laila de Lima, no? You have pending cases in court, prove your innocence in court, no? That's a separate branch of government. And the task of the executive is, in fact, to implement the law. So if there are warrants of arrest, it is the task of the executive, through our law enforcement agencies, to make sure that these warrants of arrest are properly served.
So the palace had no hand in, resurrecting these cases?
Absolutely.
Especially the president has been very,
It's in court. It's been in court. And it's a warrant of arrest issued by a court, not by the executive branch. We don't have the power to issue warrants of arrest.
Thank you, sir. Other issue, Raymond Tinasa.
Sir, yesterday, Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte gave a thank you land. Sara Duterte.
Sara Duterte.
Gave a thank you lance for the congressman who heed her call to support Arroyo's speakership. So, as Congressman Minority Leader Suarez said that it's just 1+1. So, actually, Inday Sara asked for the removal or ouster of Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. So, is the action of the daughter sanctioned by the father?
Well, number one, I think si Mayor Sara has her own spokesperson. So I would rather that you ask this question from the spokesperson of Mayor Sara.
So being a spokesperson of the father, the president.
Well, what I know is the speaker, I think, in fact, I've revealed this in last Sunday in a news program, no, which you obviously did not watch. But I revealed that he was notified, Speaker Alvarez was notified after the rehearsals that apparently there's a move to have him removed. The president can't do anything about it, so that's it.
Sir, related...
No, he wasn't notified by the president, by someone else. I will need clearance to reveal who.
Yes, but who notified officially to the
It
president?
wasn't official. It was just like parang... That's why they were prepared, no? The following day, they were ready to... They adjourned. It wasn't the palace, no? It wasn't me. It wasn't the palace, no? But I think he was informed that there is a move to remove him, no? So what happened the following day proves that he anticipated it, no? And he also prepared for it. That's why the session was opened and closed rather briefly, and the mic was turned off, no? So, in other words, this is really intramurals amongst and between members of Congress. So, we let it be as that. That's the position of the palace.
So, does the president know about the plan or moves of her daughter calling for support for Arroyo's speakership and to ouster eventually Speaker Alvarez?
I do not know for a fact. In fact, I will ask him. That's one of the many questions I want to ask him now, no? But I do not know for a fact because remember, the president arrived on time in the SONA and he did not expect to be delayed, and he articulated that he will leave within 5 minutes if after an hour, no, after an hour of waiting, if SONA does not proceed. So I think this is a clear indication that he did not expect any delay in the SONA.
Sir, relatedly, and what can you say to the what's happening now? It's like a circus at the House of Representatives. Wherein right now they have no minority leader. When in fact there are a lot of important legislation to be passed. So, as a former congressman, are you amazed or?
Not really. All I can say is that this is an internal affair of the House. We do not interfere. Number two, there is a there is a minority leader recognized in the plenary yesterday. That's a matter of record. And the minority leader recognized was still Congressman Danilo Suarez.
So, but ideally, what do you prefer would be the scenario? Congressman Danilo Suarez voted and campaigned for Arroyo's speakership. So, is that in good taste that he will be the minority leader?
Again, Raymond, that's for the House to answer, not for the Palace.
Thank you, sir.
Balik lang tayo sa Basilan. O may follow-up ka sa, Rose Novenario.
Hi sir, good morning. Sir, kasi sa mga nakaraang araw, may sinasabi si Presidente na gusto niya makipag-dialogo sa Abu Sayyaf Group. Etong pagsabog kanina sa Basilan, ano kaya yung magiging epekto nito dun sa hangarin niyang makipag-usap sa ASG?
Ang sinasabi po niya iniinganyo niya mag-surrender nga yung mga Abu Sayyaf. Kasi meron ng mga ilang Abu Sayyaf na nag-surrender na at binigyan din natin ng tulong, no? So, yung nangyari naman kanina, hindi pa po natin alam kung ano talagang circumstance yan, iniimbestigahan pa rin po. Pero siyempre po, no, antayin natin muna yung investigasyon at antayin natin kung ano maging reaksyon ng Pangulo dyan.
Sir, yung pag may sumuko ba, absuelto sila dun sa terror acts na ginawa nila habang sila aktibo ng miyembro ng ASG?
Wala naman pong binibigyan ng absolute, ano ba tawag dito, hindi pardon, but the one that predates the commission of the act, no? And wala pa pong ginaganong ganon, no? Wala pang binibigyan ng amnesty, no? At I don't think the president is contemplating amnesty for them. That's the only way to erase their criminal liability.
Sir, thank you.
Okay, MPC questions? Joseph Morong. Microphone, Raymond.
Sir, yung sa Cebu, there was a counselor who was ambushed, but yung tao niya was able to fire back. At ang napatay doon ay isang police na anti-drug operative. Your comments first.
I'm not sure about the facts about what happened in Cebu.
That's the fact, sir.
Ang napatay,
there's
police.
A counselor, and then nakasakay siya sa FJ Cruiser. Tapos may isang motor na lumapit sa kanya, may sakay na dalawa. Tapos nung na-sense nila that they were going to be ambushed, nagpaputok, napatay yung isa doon sa nakasakay sa motor, and that was proven to be a police operative. And the companion was arrested.
Let's wait for the official investigation before we comment.
But
I'm sure this will be investigated by police authorities. No?
Okay, if proven to be, sir, a police operative, does it lend credence to the fact, to the criticism that some police may be behind some EJK killings, some EJK?
I do not know the circumstance why they were tailing this individual. If they were, perhaps they have personal knowledge of a crime being committed. No? So we cannot conclude anything on the basis of information that's been stated. No? Let's wait for the official investigation.
Okay, MPC, no more questions. Vance, Rose Novenario.
Hello, sir. Ulit.
Yes.
Sir, halos araw-araw may adverse report yung COA tungkol sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Alam po ba ito ni Presidente at ano po yung utos niya na tungkol dito sa mga opisyal na to, considering po na lagi niyang sinasabi na yung anti-corruption campaign ay tinututukan ng kanyang administrasyon?
Now, alam niyo po, I will make a distinction, no? Kasi talaga bang merong mga adverse reports talaga yan. As an activist in the past, I always relied on COA findings. Now, depende po kasi yan, meron na po yung preliminary report at merong final report. Yung final report, pag meron ng disallowance, merong recommendation na dapat ibalik. Kapag hindi ibinalik yan, then meron ng krimen na nagawa. Because the elements of the crime, especially damage to government, would already be present insofar as hindi nila ibinalik yung sabi ng COA na dapat ibalik. So, krimen na po yan. One of the elements of, graft na yung mangyayari dyan, no? So, kapag hindi po sinunod ng mga taong gobyerno ang COA findings, sila po ay makakasuhan ng graft and corruption, no? So, depende naman po yan, no? So far, ang mga nare-report naman, ay natanggal na sa gobyerno. If you're referring, for instance, to the DOT, wala na naman po sa gobyerno si Secretary Wanda. If you're referring to the office of Cesar Montaño, wala na rin sa gobyerno si Cesar Montaño, no? So, bahala na po sila if they will heed the COA recommendation, no? For instance, yung pagbabalik ng pondo. Dahil pag hindi nila hinid yun, then it will be referred already to the Ombudsman for proper action.
Sir, follow-up lang po. Sa interview kagabi ng GMA News kay Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, binanggit niya na kaya raw hindi maibalik ng bitag o ni Ben Tulfo yung 60 million dahil may kahati daw po siyang taga-PCOO. So ano po, may panawagan pa tayo dun sa kahit sinong tinutukoy ng taga-PCOO na magbalik na rin nung kumbaga naging komisyon niya dun sa kinita nung bitag.
Well, sana po isa publiko naman yan kasi unfair naman sa PCOO na yung buong PCOO is subjected to this kind of criticism, no? Sana pangalangan, mag-file ng reklamo, ilagay sa affidavit nang maimbestigahan ng tama at mabuti.
So hinihikayat niyo yung PACC, yung Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, na imbestigahan yung sinasabi niya, no?
Well, hinihikayat ko po pati si Attorney Topacio as an officer of the court to reveal kung sino itong sinasabi niya nakahati para naman maimbestigahan at hindi naman yung buong PCOO mabansagan.
So, thank you.
Okay, follow-up. Joseph Morong.
Sir, dun lang sa statement yun na because they're out of office already, na bahala na sila to heed?
They have to heed the call of the COA. For instance, kapag sinabi na disallowed, that means they have to return. And if they don't return, yan na yung damage to government na one of the elements of graft. No? So, if they don't heed the recommendation that the particular expenditure is disallowed and they must return, then the COA report will now be used to prove an element of graft.
And they can be charged, of course, even after na mawala sila sa position.
Of course. Leaving office, public office, does not extinguish criminal responsibility. and liability.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vance Fernandez. Microphone, please.
Hi, Vance.
Ay, sir, wala nang battery. Hi, sir. Good
Yes,
afternoon. My pleasure to ask questions.
Good morning pala.
Sir, when will the President call for caucus for the unify of the PDP Laban? Do you have any idea?
Caucus.
Caucus,
Well,
yes.
gaya po ng sinabi ko kahapon, no? May spokesperson po ang PDP Laban. So, iwanan ko na po yan sa spokesperson ng PDP Laban, no? Or, better ask po yung mga officers ng PDP Laban.
Sir-
Wala po akong official na authority to speak on behalf of PDP Laban, even if the President remains chairman of PDP Laban.
Sir, on another issue, kasi on August 6, yung BOL ceremony, do you have any idea kung anong mga agenda to be followed?
Wala naman po yun. Ano lang, reenactment
Ganun
lang
lang
yun.
yun, sir?
Oo. Yan yung seremonya that we were deprived of, no? Kasi the ceremony was supposed to be in Congress itself, no? But since hindi nangyari, so I'm sure the members of Congress who supported the bill will be invited, the authors as well as the stakeholders, including the Bangsamoro Transition Committee.
Bakit kami hindi kasama, sir?
Kasama kayong mga media. It will be open for
Yes, sir.
media
Sir,
coverage.
on another issue, sir, are you in favor of bawas presyo bill na pinapanukala po ni Senator Bam Aquino?
Ano po
Kasi
yun?
bawas presyo bill.
Ano yung bawal press law?
Babawasan yung presyo bill.
Hindi ko pa po alam kung ano yung bill na yon. Siguro po titignan ko. Ask me next time.
Oo, kasi para mababa yung mga presyo ng bilihin.
Alam niyo po yung mga price control bill historically has never proven to be effective. Kasi kapag you interfere with supply and demand, mauubos lang talaga yung supply, no? So balik na naman tayo sa problema na kapag konti ang supply, lalong tataas ang presyo.
Okay, thank you. Vance, Chona.
Sir, sabi po kahapon ni General Albayalde na they're going to recalibrate the Oplan Tokhang and the campaign against illegal drugs will be relentless and chilling. Hindi ba to cause of concern?
No, coming from General Albayalde, who has committed himself and has proven himself to be operating within the rule of law, I welcome that remark. It will be relentless, but it will be within the rule of law. Obviously, I'm a big fan of General Albayalde.
Okay,
Okay.
Christine.
So what do you mean by chilling?
Ask him po.
No, I mean, because he said, well, the president said it's going to be chilling. So how would
It will
we
be
define that?
relentless. Basta it will be the full force of the law. So criminals, there's reason for you to be chilled. But for law-abiding individuals, you're secure in your life, liberty, and papers, na? Okay?
Last question,
Ako,
Rose
palagi na lang isa
Novenario.
talaga. Okay.
Isa na lang, sir. Oo. Sir, si Lisa Masa, as cabinet rank naman po yung posisyon niya, ano po yung, may assurance po ba kayo na pag lumutang siya, bibigyan niyo siya ng legal assistance o bibigyan niyo siya ng security o kung ano yung befitting naman po sa isang cabinet member?
Well, ang alam ko lang po is cabinet members must lead by way of example, no, that they adhere to the rule of law, no. Siguro naman po hindi siya madidihado because she's a member of the cabinet. I do not know if we're in a position to give her legal assistance because the choice of counsel is hers, no. We cannot impose our will. We could recommend if she wants, but I don't think the courts will violate any of her due process rights because, as you said, she's a former lawmaker and an incumbent secretary.
So, ano halimbawa, sir, security, magkakaroon ba siya ng security?
I don't think we
Magiging
can
secured ba siya?
give her security, but we can possibly, they can give her similar detention facility as what Laila de Lima has.
Okay,
I do not know if they can be roommates with Laila de Lima. I don't know if they will like each other, but similar treatment perhaps.
Sorry, sir, meron pang halos 3 o 2. Ace Romero, please.
Secretary, given the allegations against Chairman Masa, does she still enjoy the trust and confidence of the President?
As I said, unless the President fires her, the presumption is there. But we'll find out soon enough.
Thank
Christine?
you, Secretary.
clarify, you just said na parang you haven't seen Chairman Masa attend cabinet meetings. Ano ba, sir? Yung practice ba, do you have to be invited to the cabinet meetings or required because you're part of the...
I do not know, but I see, for instance, the presidential advisor on Visayas, no? Regularly. Presidential advisor on overseas workers, TESDA, CHED, no? They're always present in the meetings, but I've not seen Liza Masa even once in the cabinet
Pero
meetings.
do you need to be invited, sir?
Well, there perhaps is an invitation because we receive notices for the next cabinet meeting. No? That's how you know when the next cabinet meeting is. But I do not know if in the past NAPSI, the NAPSI office chief attends cabinet meetings.
Okay. Last question, Joseph Morong.
The clarification, is the palace going to help her?
Well, she's not asked for assistance. So, and of course, this is a legal problem. So this is something that she has to decide for herself.
So if she asks?
Then we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Is there any message, any call for her now?
Well, she has to respect the rule of law. I ask her to surrender, face the charges against her, prove her innocence. And I'm sure that she has no reason to worry about the fact that our courts can be relied upon for an impartial decision.
Okay, thank you. Malacanang Press Corps.
Thank you. See you next Friday in Bukidnon. This Friday. Walang Thursday eh. I'm on leave.
Okay.
I'm on leave.
Okay, thank you.
Shakeup continues at the House of Representatives a week after Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was elected as the new House Speaker. Camarines Sur Representative Rolando Andaya Jr. has been elected Majority Leader and Chairman of the powerful Committee on Rules during session Monday afternoon. Even though there was no tug of war in the election of House Majority Leader, the Minority Leadership, however, remains in limbo. Let's go straight to the source of the story. Quezon, 3rd District and House Minority Leader Danilo Suarez. Tama naman, no, sir? House Minority Leader pa rin. Yung pa rin. Status quo pa rin. Sir, so you are the House Minority Leader as of today. Is there going to be any election of a House Minority Leader?
I don't think it's forthcoming because those who, remember, those who did not vote for Speaker GMA were part of the majority. They were majority.
Those who did not vote for Speaker?
They were part of the majority, except the group of Makabayan Black and the and some of the what we call group of independent. So technically, they are either an outcast from their political group, or they can always join me in the minority if they want to.
Because you were already the minority leader before the...
2016.
Yes, sir, before GMA became Speaker. However, how I understood it ever since, sir, was that if you vote for the Speaker, you automatically become a member of the majority.
Not necessarily. The position open was only for the Speaker. There is no other candidate.
Correct.
So, ang pwedeng mangyari yan, kung outside of GMA, there are other contenders. Kagaya nung laban namin nakalaban ko si Teddy Bagilat, ako, at saka si Speaker Alvarez.
For the speakership?
For the speakership. Those who voted for Bebot Alvarez are the majority, and those who did not or abstain are considered minority, and they will meet and vote among themselves who will be the chosen minority leader. That's the rule.
Yeah. So those who did not vote or abstained, but you voted, sir, for GMA.
Correct. But that's the only position of she's the only candidate.
So how can you be minority if you voted for the Speaker, who is now the majority?
What we're saying is this: the vacancy is only for the Speaker, and the rest is status quo. Yung mga member ng Committee on Appointments, yung mga chairman ng different sensitive committee, and the minority is still in status quo. Pare-pareho pa rin kami.
I understand, and that was an argument also presented to me by Congressman Fred Castro yesterday, sir. We had him, but I want to bring this in. We went to cong.gov.ph, but the website of Congress. Let me put this up on the screen. Let's put this up on the screen. Section 8 on the rules. The rules state that on Section 8 on the majority and the minority, members who vote for the winning candidate for Speaker shall constitute the majority in the House.
Correct.
So that's you, sir.
Well, unless there is other candidate.
It does not say unless there's any other candidate,
No,
sir.
there is another version and ruling in the House rules. And it was clearly expressed by Congressman Pido yesterday. Different House rules. But that's correct. But the point is there are other rules that also govern on the selection of the minority.
So which rules are we supposed to believe in, sir? Or which rules take precedence over the other?
Well, what was stated clearly by one of my deputy minority, we will have to follow that because that's the ruling on the part of the minorities.
Sir, I guess the question is, how can you be a minority leader, just common sense, if you voted for GMA as Speaker?
No.
How can you be the fiscalizer? At least explain that to us, sir. How do you defend yourself that you will be the fiscalizer here?
Pinky Kwan, this is not the first time that I've been there in the minority and I've been noted and been known to be a fiscalizer regardless of whoever is in there. They can be my friends or what, but I will always do my role as the minority leader. And proven na yun, may track record naman ako. There are several times that I am in collision course with the Speaker Gloria. She even got upset with me when I voted against death penalty. Because I am for death penalty and she's against
the death penalty, yes. That's why she lost the deputy speakership during the time of Speaker Alvarez. Yeah.
That's right.
But if you clearly supported her, sir, why don't you just form part of the majority? Why not just be part of the majority?
Well, let's put it this way. This is we're only a year to go for this Congress.
Sir, 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months, and I have other intention of political position. Retiring from Congress as minority leader is something that I visioned to wind up my career as the minority leader. Yeah, that's the only reason.
It's a personal. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
sir?
it's maybe may advocacy and matagal na rin kasi ako lagi nasa minority and plus the fact I don't want them to take my office.
I know. So then, is it okay to say, sir, it's a selfish reason? You don't want them to take your office, right, sir?
Yeah, I built that office myself. Ako ang nagpagawa na.
But how do you feel that even if you are and were the minority leader prior to GMA being Speaker, sir, they're already saying that it's not the true minority?
Well,
what more now, sir, that you supported GMA as Speaker? Will this...
Yeah, we will always be subject to doubt and I mean, admittedly, I'm close to the Speaker. But as I said, but watch me. You watch me and you can grade me and judge me later.
Yeah.
And see how I perform.
But you know, I was, of course, CNN Philippines, we were monitoring the developments. Our Joyce Ilas was there, sir. But I remember distinctly, sir, that when GMA won as Speaker, you said that you are going to relinquish your post as minority leader and possibly Congressman Lito Atienza will become the House Minority Leader. Why the change of heart?
I have thought of that, and then I consulted the members of the minority. And I asked for their opinion, and they said they don't want to let me go.
Who does not want to let you go, sir?
All the members.
Such as?
All my members.
How many are you, sir?
18. 16, 17. But technically right now, if I will, I have about 32 applicants. members who wrote me a letter that they would like to join the minority.
From on top of the 17 that you have right now.
17 plus 32.
That it's good you talk about that, sir, because if we look at the LP block, which is 12 or 12 to 15, sir, and then the Makabayan block, if you total them, they would total about 22, sir, if I'm not mistaken, or 23, and that's over and beyond your 17 number right now. So do they constitute more the minority now until, sir, sumama itong 32 who have told you that they want to join the minority?
Ganito yung Pinky, the group of Rudy Parinas and the Independent and the I understand they have come with that action, and they presented their position to the Speaker. They have done that, I think, yesterday, and the Speaker must respond. The Speaker must respond.
So,
if there is no response, it's status quo.
But also the group of LP, sir, hindi ho ba they elected Miro Kimbo as the minority leader?
Yeah,
also wrote the Speaker, sir. So if the Speaker does not respond, it's clear, sir. Status quo.
Yes.
Even if hypothetically, sir, mas marami pong tao ang LP and Makabayan block versus your block, sir, you still remain minority
leader.
So it's really the action of the Speaker?
How's that again?
It's really the action or inaction of the Speaker?
Well, I'm not saying that at the end of the day it's the Speaker's call. I'm not going to say that. But what I'm saying is this: if I want to contest the numbers by the mere number of those who have, it's in my record, who wrote me a letter and said that they would like to join the minority bloc. I would assume that the reason why they want to join the minority is right now they know my relationship with the Speaker, so it's a friendly minority. So,
I guess that's what you call it, sir, a friendly minority. You're a friendly minority to the
constructive
Speaker.
is the better word, constructive.
But you also said friendly, okay.
Ganito, maraming committee sa Congress. And good congressman wants to be members of some sensitive committees, some that is close to their heart or some parochial concern. But because of the limited number of membership, hindi sila makapag-member. But on the part of the minority, I have almost 17 to 18 membership. Dahil sa kukunti kami. Ngayon, kung sasama sila sa amin, yung mga gusto nilang membership sa mga committee, magiging member sila. That's precisely the reason why they want to join me.
Yeah. To also obviously have positions as members of certain committees.
Yes.
Yeah. So, are you inclined to take them in, sir? This 32 that
I'm
have it
seriously
signified?
evaluating it.
Why not take them in, sir? Why seriously evaluate them?
I'll have to check on number one, yung mga committees na I have to talk to them one by one and tell them why I'm honored that you want to join me, but ano ba talaga? Ba't ka sasama sa akin? Kasi Pinky, all this time, mag 2 years na kami, we have developed this close knit of friendship on this 18. Kasi nawalan kami, nawala si Harry, di ba, naging spokesperson. Si Eugene naman, lumipat na sa kabila, kay Rudy. Dahil sa magkaibigan yung dalawa.
So 16 na lang kayo, sir. Yeah. And you've developed this close-knit group, I guess, sir.
Yeah, we go out of town.
So, medyo stricto ho ba kayo sa pagpasok ng iba pang gustong sumali sa grupo nyo?
Ang mangyayari dyan talaga, Pinky, is I will seek their opinion and guidance. Oh, ito, gusto sumama sa atin. Okay ba sa inyo? Ganun.
It'll be a group decision, sir. And you're not inclined, sir, as a last question, to have someone like Congressman Miro Kimbo stand as minority leader? Is that?
Siguro hindi. No.
Even if they bring it to the courts, sir, they question this before the courts. You're ready to answer this?
Yeah, they can do that. That has been this. They'll do it, and it should be the second time that will be taken to court. Because yung 2016, dinala ako sa Supreme Court.
All right, Congressman Danilo Suarez, Minority Leader, sir. So, as a last question, this afternoon, baka meron ho kaya sigurong mangyari na namang objection?
There will be a lot of fireworks this afternoon. We will allow all of them to speak their mind. Magsalita na sila because that's their right and privilege. So, we'll just listen to them.
But you'll stay put.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Joining us now in the studio, Caloocan City 2nd District Representative Edgar Erice. Congressman, I know you're armed with the rules at Congress. Let's
because
read that.
I heard Congressman Suarez and he can't specifically say the rule that he's telling about. So I brought
Basahin mo, sir, for us, please.
In Rule 3 of the officers, in Rule 3, the officers of the House, namely the Speaker, the 6 Deputy Speakers, the Secretary General, the Surgeon General, shall be elected at the commencement of each Congress and whenever there is a vacancy. So, nagkaroon ng vacancy because there was a declaration from the House that to declare the position of the Speaker as vacant. So, as a natural impact, of course, there will be an election. If there's an election, there will be nomination and voting. Nominal voting nga. So, bumoto kami. Sa Rule 2 naman, nakalagay naman dito, Section 8, members who vote for the winning candidate per speaker shall constitute the majority in the House, and they shall elect from among themselves the majority leader. So, kaya hindi kami nakialam sa majority leader. Because,
But that's exactly the rule I showed, Congressman.
Minority leader then shall be elected by the members of the minority and can be changed at any time by a majority vote of all the minority members.
So, I think that's very important, sir.
Yes.
This reference to, at any time, the majority and minority shall elect such number of deputy, majority, and minority leaders as the rule provides, sir. But the minority leader shall be elected by the members of the minority,
yes.
sir.
And the House Resolution number 225, which affirmed the election, specifically says that
the election of Speaker.
Specifically says that there are 184 members who voted for Speaker Arroyo, and the group of most of the group of Congressman Suarez voted for GMA. So he ousted himself from
as minority
from the minority group, and those who voted to abstain are the 12 members of the LP, and 3 votes of no vote for GMA from the Makabayan bloc.
Plus 3, so 15.
Officially, according to our rules, the new members of the minority are the 15 congressmen who abstained and registered a no vote.
I understand the kind of argument you're making, sir. In fact, we are reading the same rules that I also read. Ito ho yun, for those who might be interested.
Tingin ko, nagtatanga-tangahan na lang si Congressman Suarez. Veterano na yun sa Kongreso. Nagtatanga-tangahan na lang siya sa rules para manatili as a company union. Kasi sanay na sila yung grupo nila. During the time of Alvarez, we bested them in the elections. Si Teddy Bagila placed second to Alvarez. Pero gumawa sila ng panibagong rules. Sabi nila, yung mga abstain are members of the minority. So, nagpatawag sila ng election, 22 yung dumating. So, bumoto sila lahat for Congressman Suarez. Pero after the elections, a few weeks after the elections, bumalik sa minority yung marami. Including the one who presided during that election is Congresswoman Gari. After a few weeks, she transferred again to the majority and became a deputy speaker. So yun ang sabi niya ngayon, may 32, papahiram uli yan ng majority.
Yun yung sinasabi ni Congressman.
Papahiram sila uli ng majority para
dumami sila.
Castrate yung real minority.
Well, let's put it this way, sir. Whether that is, just for the sake of argument, sir, true or not, they will still have the numbers. Even if ipahiram, as you say, yung 32, yes, but, mas marami pa rin sila
pero ngayon,
sa'yo.
mas maliwanag yung violation. Mas maliwanag. Although, syempre, it will take time because I intend to, if they will insist on being the minority, I intend to question it before the Supreme Court. So, it will take time. Pero sa tingin ko naman, Ngayon, mas malakas yung ebidensya kasi itong mismong rules na sila gumawa, sinustain ng Supreme Court. And they are violating the very rules that
they promulgated, sir.
Yes,
Parang
they
ganun
promulgated.
Po. Oo, because nakasulat din po dito yung lahat ng mga pangalan na bumoto for GMA.
Maliwanag naman dun sa Supreme Court decision na na-sustain na those who voted for the Speaker shall be considered as majority members.
And then it said nga in the rules that we read, sir, that the minority members shall elect among themselves. Now, here's the thing, sir. The minority members shall vote among themselves. What if, there are two things, sir. What if they say that magbotohan tayo, ito ang minority, and they have the numbers, sir?
Well, according to the rules.
Sir, sorry, before I forget, sir, is that his position was not declared vacant. That's also an argument they are raising.
The moment that we reorganize, all positions are vacant.
Hindi ho ba? Ganun ho ba yun, sir?
Talaga
But why did they just declare the speakership vacant?
Nobody wants to contest GMA. Even in the Liberal Party, we don't think that we have a chance. So we will just abstain from the voting. And Bakabayan Black, alam nilang wala silang chance. Ang kanilang sinasabi, no for GMA. So yun ang real minority as defined by our rules. So yung 15, yan yung talagang original na minority ngayon under the present setup, under the reorganized setup of the House. Tinanong ko nga kahapon si Congressman Andaya, sinagot niya as acting speaker, sabi niya, we reorganized the House. Maliwanag yun, sinabi niya. At kami naman, according to the rules, since we are the only minority, the 15 members, we've already elected our minority leader, si Congressman Kimbo, and anyone who wants to join the minority can write Congressman Kimbo.
Sir,
if he has 32 plus 16, siguro pwedeng sumulat kay Congressman Kimbo. Pero alam naman natin. Pero wag na natin pag-usapan yung legal. Yung legal side, yung moral side na lang nung issue.
But that would be very contentious, sir, legal versus moral.
No,
because you can fight moral, they can fight legal.
Yung legal, we're very sure of it in the courts. Pero yung moral issue, kasi we should not be very legalistic in this issue kasi may epekto sa mamamayan. Ang tingin ko, ninanakaw ng majority yung karapatan ng mga mamayan para magkaroon ng check and balance sa Kongreso. Ang Kongreso, ginawa ng mamamayan. Para gumawa ng mga batas, para sa mga araw-araw nating mga pamumuhay dito sa ating bansa. Ngayon, meron sila, yung mayorya, andun na sa kanila lahat . They have all the committee chairmanship, majority leader, deputy speaker. Konti na lang sa amin. Ito na lang yung karapatan ng mamamayan na magkaroon ng check and balance para mabusisi yung mga batas na ginagawa sa Kongreso. Ninanakaw pa nila yan. Hindi sa amin. Sa mga mamamayan. Ano kapalit niyan? Bakit ginagawa nila Congressman Suarez? Bilyong-bilyong mga proyekto sa kanilang mga distrito.
So here's the thing, sir. How can you proceed? I guess that's the question. How can you proceed with Congressman Miro Kimbo becoming the minority leader? Papaano?
Of course, we have some strategies. We're still talking about it. But ultimately, we have to go to the courts. And of course, we should also include the people. Yung public opinion. I still believe na yung public opinion. Kasi naniniwala ako si President GMA, now our Speaker, as a senior statesman, as a former President, as a veteran parliamentarian, alam niya naman yung sigurong tamang gawin para ngayon bumabagsak na yung ang image ng Kongreso, SWS.
Bumaba, sir, ng 10 points. Yes, sir.
10 points. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng reorganize. Yung ginawa dahil sa mga ginagawa ni Speaker Alvarez, siguro hindi naman uulitin ito ni President GMA.
So you're hoping for that, sir. But we will find out what happens later kung papaano ho ito. Just a last question. If you question this will be before the Supreme Court, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Biniberipika pa ng mga otoridad ang ulat na isang dayuhan ang nasa likod ng pagpapasabog. Naninindigan ng pamahalaan, walang plano ang gobyerno na makipagnegosasyon sa bandidong grupong Abu Sayyaf. Ito ang paglilinaw ng Malacanang matapos ang pahayag ni Pangulong Duterte noong Biyernes na bukas siya sa pakikipag-usap sa Abu Sayyaf. Ayon kay Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque, isang enticement o panghikayat umano ang sinabi ng Pangulo sa mga Abu Sayyaf members para sumuko.
But I think what he's saying is, in the same way that he has been accepting surrenderies from the MLF and MNLF and NPA, he's willing to accept surrenderies from the ASG. So what he means is surrender and you will be given a new lease on life.
Sa iba pang balita, nagdaos ng isang lunch meeting sina House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte at ang kanilang mga kaalyado sa mababang kapulungan. Ang salo-salo naganap isang linggo matapos lamang ang biglaang pagpapalit ng liderato sa Kamara kung saan nasibak si Pantaleon Alvarez at pinalitan ni Arroyo. Narito ang ulat ni Rex Remitio.
What's the agenda? Oh, it was just a thank you lunch.
Ito ang tugon ni House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo noong siya'y tinanong kung para saan nga ba ang kanyang pagpupulong kasama sina Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte at mga kaalyado sa Seda Hotel sa Quezon City. Gayunpaman, hindi sinabi ni Arroyo kung sino ang nag-imbita sa kanya o sino ang nag-organisa ng kanilang lunch meeting. Ayon kay Negros Occidental Representative Albi Benitez na isa sa mga dumalo sa pagpupulong, ito lamang raw ang sinabi ni Arroyo sa kanila.
Let's get back to work. No? Let's now support the President's legislative agenda. So moving forward po siya.
Napagkasunduan rin daw sa lunch meeting na hindi na mapapalitan ang mga pinuno ng mga komite sa Kamara sa kabila ng pagpapalit ng liderato. Ngunit para kay Quezon Representative Danilo Suarez na malapit na kaalyado ni Arroyo, si Sara Duterte ang may pasimuno ng naganap na lunch meeting.
Thank you for supporting her in her appeal to support GMA. Wala na iba.
Kinausap rin daw ni Sara Duterte ang mga pinuno ng mga National Political Party at mga party list group sa isang hiwalay na meeting. Gayunpaman, tumanggi si Suarez na sabihin kung para saan ito o kung may kinalaman nga ba sa kahit anong plano na bumuo ng isang koalisyon para sa eleksyon sa Mayo 2019. Nauna na kasing ibinunyag ng bagong talagang majority leader at kaalyado rin ni Arroyo na si Rolando Andaya na may ilang miyembro ng namumunong PDP laban ang nag-iisip ng umalis upang sumali sa partido ni Sara Duterte na hugpong ng pagbabago o di kaya'y sa dating partido ni Arroyo na Lakas CMD na maaari rin daw magsani-puwersa kung sakali. Tumanggi namang magbigay ng komento ang anak ng Pangulo ukol sa mga naganap na pagpupulong. Rex Remitio, CNN, Philippines.
Samantala, patuloy ang palitan ng liderato sa mababang kapulungan ng Kongreso isang linggo matapos maluklok bilang bagong House Speaker si dating Pangulo at ngayon Pampanga Representative Gloria Arroyo. Kabilang sa mga nakakuha sa pinag-aagawang pwesto sa Kamara, mga kaalyado ni Arroyo, tinalaga si Camarines Sur Representative Rolando Andaya Jr. bilang Majority Leader at Chairman ng Makapangyarihang Committee on Rules, dating Budget Secretary ni Arroyo si Andaya. Bagong Sergeant at Arms naman ang dating pinuno ng Presidential Security Group ni Arroyo na si retired General Romeo Prestosa. Tinalaga naman na bagong chairman ng Committee on Accounts ang komiteng nagkukontrol sa pondo ng Kamara si late Representative Vieda Romualdez, asawa ni dating Tacloban Representative Martin Romualdez, ang presidente ng Lakas CMD na dating partido ni Arroyo. Samantala, hindi pa rin malinaw kung sino na ang may hawak ng liderato ng minorya. Maging sa Senado, may mga pagbabago rin. Kinumpirma ni Senator J.V. Ejercito aalis siya sa Partidong Puwersa ng Masang Pilipino at lilipat sa Nationalist People's Coalition o NPC. Tila di raw kasi magandang tignan na pareho sila ng kapatid na si dating Senator Jinggoy Estrada na tatakbo sa ilalim ng iisang partido sa 2019 elections. Mas makabubuti rin daw ang paglipat niya sa NPC, lalo pat si Senate President Tito Soto ay kasapi nito. Napapaulat na maging si Senator Manny Pacquiao lilipat na rin sa NPC bagamat wala pang pahayag ang mismong senador ukol dito. Samantala, sinabi naman ni dating Senate President Coco Pimentel na magpapatawag siya ng pagpupulong ng tunay na National Executive Committee ng PDP laban. Yan ay matapos ang isang pagtitipo nung isang linggo sa Quezon City ng umano'y National Council ng PDP laban kung saan napatalsik sina Pimentel bilang presidente ng partido at si dating House Speaker Alvarez bilang Secretary General. Sa ibang balita, dapat rin daw sisihin si dating Pangulong Noynoy Aquino sa tinatawag na culture of impunity sa bansa o ang kultura ng mga pagpatay ng walang napaparusahan. Itong linggo, kinwestiyon ni Aquino ang pahayag ni Pangulong Duterte kung saan sinabi nitong prioridad niya ang buhay ng tao habang ang iba naman ay prioridad ang karapatang pantao. Narito ang pahayag ng Malacanang.
The former president, he shares partly in the blame for this culture of impunity.
Paliwanag ni Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque, dapat daw ay mas may nagawa si Aquino upang protektahan ang human rights ng kanyang termino. Dagdag pa ni Roque, nasa ilalim ng Administrasyong Aquino nang sabihin ng United Nations na lumabag ang Pilipinas sa obligasyon nitong protektahan ang right to life o karapatan sa buhay ng mga mamamayan nito dahil yan sa serye ng mga pagpatay sa mga journalist o mamamahayag. Pinabulaanan din ni Roque ang pahayag ni Aquino na may kinalaman si Pangulong Duterte sa pagkakahalal ni Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo bilang House Speaker. Magiging relentless and chilling raw ang gera kontra droga ng gobyerno, sabi ni PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde, rerepasuhin at aayusin ang pagsasagawa ng Oplan Tokhang para mas mapalakas ito. Sabi ni Albayalde, nasa 1.2 million na drug users at mga pushers ang sumuko sa gobyerno mula ng ilunsad ng Oplan Tokhang noong 2016 at magpapatuloy raw ang monitoring at rehabilitasyon nila habang mas paiigtingin naman ang pagtugis sa halos 2,000 pa ring hinahabol ng PNP na nasa drug watch list nito. Pero di rin lusot mismo ang mga pulis na nagsasagawa ng Oplan Tokhang dahil pati ang performance nila i-review ng pamunuan ng PNP.
Yung recalibration does not mean na meron tayong babaguhin dun sa policies natin. Recalibration here will mean na yung, sabi ko nga, the Oversight Committee will look into the different accomplishment and performances of the different provinces and cities. And even dun sa mga different stations, mga maliliit na stasyon natin. Kumbaga sa sasakyan, parang i-tune up mo.
Ang palalakasing Oplan Tokhang ay sa gitna ng mga akusasyon ng extrajudicial killings at mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao sa gera kontra droga ng linggo matapos ang pagpapalit ng liderato sa Kamara. Hindi pa rin tapos ang issue ng liderato naman sa Minority Bloc. Sa panayam ng programang The Source, sinabi ni Minority Leader at Quezon 3rd Representative Danilo Suarez na wala pa namang magaganap na botohan para sa liderato ng minorya. Paliwanag niya, ang posisyon lamang ng Speaker ang nabakante kaya't status quo pa rin ang mga natitirang posisyon sa Kamara kasama na ang chairmanship ng mga komite. Ayon naman kay Liberal Party member at Caloocan City 2nd District Representative Edgar Erice, hindi maaaring maging minority leader si Suarez dahil pinoto niya si Gloria Arroyo bilang Speaker. Yan din ay base sa House rules. Balak ni Erice na dalhin ang issue sa Korte Suprema. Ayon pa sa kanya, ninanakaw di umano ng House majority ang karapatan ng mamamayan para sa check and balance.
I don't think it's forthcoming because those who did not vote for Speaker GMA were part of the majority.
Yung moral issue kasi we should not be very legalistic in this issue kasi may epekto ito sa mamamayan. Ang tingin ko, ninanakaw ng majority yung karapatan ng mga mamamayan para magkaroon ng check and balance sa Kongreso.
Gusto ng mga senador na pababain ang presyo ng kuryente sa bansa sa tulong ng Malampaya Natural Gas Project. Tinutulak ngayon sa Senado ang alokasyon ng kita mula sa Malampaya para ipambayad sa universal charges. Ayon sa PISAM o Power Sector Assets and Liabilities Management Corporation, makatutulong ang subsidiya mula sa Malampaya Fund para makatipid ang consumer ng 87 centavos kada kilowatt hour o katumbas ng 2,000 piso sa isang taon. Binuweltahan naman ni Senate Energy Committee Chair Sherwin Gatchalian ang Energy Regulatory Commission dahil sa umano'y pagkaantala ng kanilang serbisyo na nagiging pasakit sa mga consumer.
Ang nakikita kong dahilan ay mabagal yung trabaho na ginagawa ng ERC at dapat ma-improve nila yung proseso nila. At this coming budget season, of course, titignan namin kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa kanilang operations dahil bawat delay merong cost yan sa atin. At yung cost ay pinapasa yan sa mga consumers.
Kausap natin si Roderick Furigay, Lamitan City Vice Mayor. Magandang umaga, Vice Mayor.
Good morning po, Ma'am Ruth.
Vice, paki-update lang po kami dito sa ating yung mga casualties, 6. Tapos meron din daw pong injured dyan sa naging pagsabog kanina?
As of this moment po, 10 po yung namatay. 10 na. Then ang injured is 5, 5.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, 5 kasgo ang namatay, 3 babae at 1 bata, at saka isang detachment commander ng Special Forces ng 19SF. Yun po ang namatay. Yung nasugatan po is 5, coming from the Scout Ranger, 3rd.
Okay, pakilinaw lang po sa amin kasi 'di ba itong mga sinasabi niyo, mga sundalo, nandyan din po sila diyan sa CAFGU detachment nung nangyari ito or nagresponde po ba sila? May detalye po ba kayo diyan?
Ang pagkaano po sa amin nung dumaan na yung van sa checkpoint ng CAFGU. So nung nahinto yon, medyo suspicious yung van. So yung isang CAFGU nagmotor kaagad, pinuntahan yung main area ng Scout Ranger para isumbong na dahil mayroong suspicious na van nasa checkpoint. So itong Scout Ranger natin, nag-decide kaagad sila na magpadala ng team. Bale, malapit lang naman yung distance doon. So nung dumating na yung Scout Ranger team nila, mga 50 meters away from the detachment, doon na, sumabog na yung van.
Okay. So tama po na rumisponde po kasi itong mga Scout Rangers, ano po?
Yes po, tama po. Kasi yung checkpoint na doon, ang nagmaman doon, yung
mga
Special Forces. Special Forces po yung nagdadala doon at saka CAFGU nila.
Okay. Tapos isa pa ho, Vice Mayor, kasi may report na suicide bombing. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa van, may driver po yun. May ano po yung impormasyon tungkol doon? Dun sa nakasakay sa loob ng van?
Yeah, sa loob ng van, allegedly, nandoon yung driver na ayaw bumaba. So, nung paglapit ng mga Scout Ranger at saka mga nag-surround yung CAFGU, so yun na, pumutok na yung van.
Isa lang po ba ang sakay ng van? Yung driver lang po?
Ganon yung pagkasabi nila, yung mga witness na survive, yung malapit, yun ang pagkasabi nila.
And could you also give us information dun sa reports na possibly parang foreign-looking itong driver? May ganon po ba?
Hindi ko talaga masabi sa inyo kasi hindi talaga makita yung katawan eh. Watak-watak lahat yung van eh. Kahit yung van nga eh, parang talaga eh, hindi mo makita yung van.
Tapos, Vice Mayor, may nabanggit kayo na may bata po nakasama dun sa mga namatay?
Opo, yung bata na anak ng isang CAFGU, medyo malayo po yun, mga sa distansya ng mga 15 meters sa loob ng nila, sa loob ng detachment ng CAFGU.
Okay, so ibig sabihin ganun kalakas yung explosion, Vice Mayor?
Yes, ma'am. Parang ang radius ng mga 60 to 70 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya hasta yung mga babae, tinamaan din yung asawa nila.
Vice Mayor, bago ba ito may mga pagbabanta or any security concerns dun sa area? Ang sinasabi rin kanina ng mga ibang authorities na na-interview natin, posible daw baka Abu Sayyaf or ISIS-inspired groups ito?
Basta yung natin is mga lawless talaga ito. Walang ibang gagawa nito. Most likely sa ASD talaga natin.
Okay, pero yung mga injured na 5, ano pong kalagayan nila sa ngayon, Vice Mayor?
Most of them are minor injuries. Yung iba na ibak na sa Zamboanga doon sa may hospital ng West Mincom.
Mm-hmm. At kamusta na po yung seguridad dyan sa lugar sa ngayon?
Sa ngayon po okay, normal, everything is under control. Actually, yung nangyari naman nasa perimeter lang yun ng Lamitan. Malayo sa poblasyon.
Our top story tonight takes us all the way down south to western Mindanao. Authorities now beefing up security after a powerful improvised bomb packed inside a van went off in a city in the island province of Basilan. Basilan is part of the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, but not its capital, Isabela. Our George Cahilas reports 11 people, including the driver of the van, were killed in this attack. Malacanang is calling it a war crime.
Mangled bodies and destroyed vehicles lie scattered on the ground after an explosion ripped through a checkpoint in Lamitan City, Basilan early Tuesday morning. This video, taken a few hours after the blast, shows the extent of the devastation it caused. Authorities say the impact was so strong it reached about 15 meters from the site. Initial reports say that homemade bombs were inside a van driven by a man. 11 persons are confirmed dead, mostly paramilitary, who were manning the checkpoint, a soldier, civilians in the area, and a van driver. 7 others, mostly soldier who were responding in the area, were injured.
Na-stop yung van at chine-checkpoint na ito. Nung they found, they saw the driver uneasy. That's why nagpatawag ng reinforcement upang tumulong at tingnan yung sinasabing van when it exploded.
Sa loob ng van, allegedly, nandoon yung driver na ayaw bumaba. So, nung paglapit ng mga scout ranger at saka mga nag-surround yung CAFGO, so yun na, pumutok na yung van.
The military says the culprit is the Abu Sayyaf group led by Furuji Indama. Furuji Indama's group has a history of kidnapping and other terroristic activities. The identity of the driver is still unknown, but some reports say he could be a foreigner, something that the military has yet to confirm. As of now, the military is not considering the incident as a suicide bombing.
We cannot say that this is a foreign terrorist or a foreigner driver because he himself was killed in the blast. The initial personnel of the AUP who had contact with this lone driver also succumbed and died instantaneously in this incident.
Defense analyst Romel Banlawi says Furuji Indama's group has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. And while the Abu Sayyaf in Basilan is slowly losing its strength, Banlawi believes that they are still capable of launching massive attacks.
They have lost strength, but they have not been totally eradicated. So they can still create a lot of trouble in Mindanao. They still have the capability to mount such massive attacks, and they have the intention to do that.
The military reveals it had prior intelligence information that the ASG plans to attack portions of the province, a reason why they intensified checkpoint operations in various areas.
Napakalakas nitong bombang ito, itong mga IED na ito, at we cannot just imagine how this the tragedy that this will bring to the people of Basilan kung ito ay hindi natin nahinto sa ating checkpoint.
Malacanang condemns the attack, calling it a war crime. It also calls on security officials to review the capability of the country's intelligence units.
I do not know how it happened, but what I'm saying is illegal acts will happen whether or not we have intelligence communities. But perhaps, one thing that the military and security establishment must look into is their intelligence capability.
Last week, President Rodrigo Duterte expressed his willingness to talk with the Abu Sayyaf group. But the palace clarifies that the president has just enticing ASG members to surrender. Authorities have further intensified their security efforts in the area after the incident. George Kailes, CNN Philippines.
Lawmakers and regional officials condemn the Basilan bombing. Senator Nancy Binay calls the attack a despicable act of cowardice. She's urging the police and law enforcement agencies to get to the bottom of the incident. Senator Ping Lacson fears this could spark a trend of terrorist acts in other highly populated urban centers if this attack will be established as a case of suicide bombing. Lacson adds this should push the government to step up its intelligence and security capabilities. ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman also condemns the bomb attack and promises to help families of those killed and injured. Hataman also vows to strengthen efforts to secure the region. And considering that the Bangsamoro Organic Law was recently signed, Iligan Representative Frederick Xiao says the bombing could be a way for lawless armed groups to distract government forces. From one explosion to another, this time in Antipolo City, east of Manila, police say a homemade bomb was placed on the side of a road in Sitio Kalumpang in Barangay San Jose. They say the bomb exploded even before members of the army could detonate it. 2 passengers of a tricycle suffered minor injuries. Tug of war for the minority leadership continues at the House of Representatives. Today, congressmen still debating on who should be the rightful leader. Our Joyce Ilas is at the Batasan Pambansa to tell us more. Joyce, what is the latest?
Pia, it seems the struggle on who the real minority bloc here at the House of Representatives has only gotten worse. We began the week with two groups vying to be recognized as the real minority bloc. The group of House Minority Leader Danilo Suarez and the Liberal Party and the Makabayan bloc led by Marikina Representative Miro Kimbo. Now a third group has emerged, led by ABS Party List Representative Eugene De Vera and supported by former House leaders Pantaleon Alvarez and Rudy Fariñas. Not one, not two, but three groups are each claiming to be the real minority bloc at the House of Representatives. There's a group led by ABS Party List Representative Eugene De Vera, backed by former House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez and former House Majority Leader Rudy Fariñas. In a letter to House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, De Vera states he has accepted Alvarez, Fariñas, and 12 of their allies' application to the minority bloc. Fariñas earlier said De Vera should be the minority leader after Minority Leader Danilo Suarez voted for Arroyo, effectively abandoning his post. Fariñas said De Vera was Suarez's only deputy minority leader who did not support Arroyo.
They abandoned their positions by voting for the new speaker. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. The moment they participated in removing the speaker, they already crossed their Rubicon and they are already in the majority.
In the letter, De Vera assured Arroyo the group will cooperate with her leadership and with President Duterte's legislative agenda. Then there's Suarez's group, the minority bloc during the Alvarez speakership. Suarez and his allies maintain the reorganization only applies to the speakership and not to the minority leadership. Hence, there is no vacancy in the minority leadership. Suarez says he will not vacate his post, even though he openly supported Arroyo.
Retiring from Congress as minority leader is something that I visioned to wind up my career as the minority leader. Matagal na rin kasi akong lagi nasa minority and plus the fact I don't want them to take my office. I build that office myself.
If two's a company, three's a crowd. But not for the Liberal Party and its allies and the Makabayan bloc, led by Marikina Representative Miro Kimbo. Strange bedfellows. The LP and the leftist militant group used to be at odds during the Aquino administration, but have united to oppose Arroyo's leadership. The 24-man group is composed of LP members and allies who abstained during Arroyo's election as speaker and Makabayan bloc members who voted against her. The group cites the House rule that those who voted for the speaker is part of the majority, while those who did not is of the minority.
Hindi ito yung sinasabi ni Rep. Lito Atienza na naghahabol lang daw ng parang si Congressman Kimbo, no? About ambition, no? So the issue about the minority is not about ambition, it's not about spoils, no? But right now, ang pinaka-importante rito is to have a real voice, no? The opposition voice in Congress.
Kailangan namin ipaglaban sa minority. Dahil ang ninanakawan dito, hindi kami. Ninanakawan dito yung karapatan ng mga mamamayan para magkaroon ng check and balance sa Kongreso.
Lagman says a minority leader and deputy minority leaders are important because they can attend and have voting power in important committees like Appropriation, Ways and Means, and in the Bicameral Conference Committee. He adds minority bloc members are also given proportional representation in all committees. Lagman says it is important that the recognized minority bloc is given to those who will make sure proper checks and balances are in place. House Majority Leader Rolando Andaya Jr. said that as agreed upon by parties concerned, they will not be discussing the House Minority Leadership issue in plenary today. As of now, the session is busy tackling measures on third and final reading. Pia?
Joyce Ilas there reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Now still over at the House, economic managers addressing the rising prices of goods and services. Our Rex Amicio tells us what happened during the House session and during a lunch meeting called by Speaker Gloria Arroyo herself.
We would like to begin our presentation to the House of Representatives by saying that the country's growth narrative remains solid.
The Duterte administration's economic managers are in for a challenge. In a series of hearings that began Tuesday, they will convince the House of Representatives to approve the proposed national budget for 2019 in the wake of concerns over rising consumer prices. On day one of the budget hearing, they present a rosy picture of the economy, both in the present and the near term.
The benefits of that growth continue to spread.
We have put more money into people's pockets.
Initial budget hearings usually tackle a number of assumptions on the general economy. But this time, lawmakers grilled the cabinet secretaries on a concern that's hitting Filipinos across all walks of life, the rising consumer prices or inflation rate. Year-to-date inflation reached a 3-year high in June at 5.2%. The rate has been rising since January.
It's a big concern which we have to address first before we can even ask the members of Congress to look into Train 2.
That's why during the lunch break, House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo invited the economic managers for a lunch meeting in her office, in what seems to be reminiscent of a cabinet meeting when she was president. The meeting lasted for more than an hour. Economic managers only disclosed few information to the media. Among them, Arroyo wants to prioritize passage of the second tax reform package, or Train 2, which seeks to cut corporate taxes while limiting their fiscal incentives as well. Also on the agenda, the rice tariffication law, which will open the market to rice imports with corresponding tariff to boost supply and eventually lower prices.
What are the concerns on inflation that the former president has said?
Well, we have to bring down inflation. We have to find ways of softening the inflation because that is what really matters to people. So, ganon, yun ang pinag-usapan.
Budget Secretary Ben Jokno admits it's a challenge to convince lawmakers the administration can temper rising prices.
Kasi importante rin yan kasi we're adopting structural reforms. Baka sumabit kung hindi convince yung mga congressmen, senators na we're doing something well. Kasi ang immediate concern tao ngayon, inflation talaga.
The Bangko Sentral meanwhile says it is taking, quote, timely and measured responses to inflation by raising interest rates so that people will spend less or even reconsider taking up a car, housing, or personal loan. The central bank sees a faster price increase in July at 5.1 and 5.8%. The government has adjusted the inflation target this year from 2 to 4 to 4 to 4.5%.
159 transmissions were made on May 8. At napatunayan po namin based mismo sa copy ng DNS server logs mula sa COMELEC mismo. Malinaw po yun. We were able to prove na may 459 early transmissions at ang sagot naman ni COMELEC, final testing and sealing yan. Binigyan ko po sila ng ilang pagkakataon. Is this your final answer? Wala akong sumagot, ayaw mapako. Then I showed them na sa Ragay may transmission on May 8. Pero pag tinignan mo yung mga makina, walang ni isa ang nag-transmit. Ang question, sino ang nag-transmit noong May 8, 8:40 ng umaga sa Ragay? These are fake or clone machines. Kung magkakaroon po sa susunod na hearing, we will strive to produce or to recreate kung paano gawin o paano gagamitin yung clone machine. We will try to do that and we hope na magpatawag ulit ng hearing ang Senado because we will try to demonstrate paano gumawa ng clone or fake na machine. And we challenge Smartmatic. Gagawin natin yan. Kasi gusto namin patunayan na itong eleksyon na to, these are not merely duda. Ayon sa abogado nila, duda lang to. No, mortal wounds ito sa ating election system. Huwag na ho tayong paloko. Kasi kung magpapaloko tayo lahat ang kawawa.
So, noong 2016 may mga ganun?
Sir, ma'am?
Noong 2016?
2010 pa po. Maigay na po ako dito sa Senado mismo, 2010 pa. Pinakita ko 7 transmissions, 7 transmit 2 beses. Yung pangalawang transmission, wala na pong makina doon. Patay na po, nakapatay na po yung makina. And the documents are certified true copies. Hindi ko sinasagot ng Smartmatic at COMELEC yan. So the issue of clone and fake machines, hindi lang po ngayon. Matagal na po yan. 2010 pa po yan. That's why hindi ako natakot. I swore to tell the truth and that's what I told them. Pinakita ko yan.
What about yung sinasabing nomination o sa former Senator Bongbong Marcos? You do not accept it, sir?
Tinanong po yun ni Senator Bruno, di po ba? That I was nominated. I was nominated. No, being nominated is one thing. Accepting the nomination is another thing. So hindi ko po tinanggap yung nomination. So hindi ko ako in any way tied to them.
Parang sinasabi mo wala talaga akong connection?
Wala akong connection sa kanila.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Commuters in Metro Manila will have to pay more for taxi rides as transport authorities begin recalibrating taxi meters for higher fares. AC Nichols tells us more.
From higher electricity rates to pricier basic goods, it seems consumers can't catch a break from rising prices. Now, even cab rides will cost more as the LTFRB begins resealing and recalibrating taxi meters for higher rates. This process comes almost a year after the taxi fare hike was approved in October last year. Only taxis with resealed and recalibrated meters can apply the new rates. These are taxis with a golden seal on their meter and a yellow sticker on the windshield that says it's been approved.
Pero kung wala pa po yung mga indications na yon at naniningil na ng bagong rate yung taxi, pwede ho yung makasuhan ng overcharging.
With a resealed and recalibrated meter, a cab driver can charge a distance rate of 1350 pesos per kilometer. Another 2 pesos per minute for the total running time will be added. This means the passenger will have to shell out more the longer he or she is stuck in traffic. Among the requirements for resealing and recalibration is the modernization of units by installing certain upgrades like dashcam, GPS, and Wi-Fi. This is in compliance with franchising guidelines issued by the LTFRB as part of the government's PUV modernization program.
Sana, worth it naman kasi wala naman kaming ibang negosyo. Ito lang din pinagkukunan namin.
Taxi drivers, meantime, are hoping they can now compete with ride-hailing apps here like Grab. But some worry taxi operators or owners might raise their daily boundary or quota.
Maging mabuti para sa amin, pero sa dami rin namin kompetensya, hindi lang naman Grab. Sa tingin ko magiging komportable kami na makipagsabayan sa kanila.
Medyo may konting laban. Kaya lang ang inaalala rin namin, baka ako yung idadagdag doon sa metro, baka mapunta na naman sa boundary.
Around 29,000 taxicabs will have their meters recalibrated for the adjusted rates nationwide.
Mangled bodies and destroyed vehicles lie scattered on the ground after an explosion ripped through a checkpoint in Lamitan City, Basilan early Tuesday morning. This video, taken a few hours after the blast, shows the extent of the devastation it caused. Authorities say the impact was so strong it reached about 50 meters from the site. Initial reports say that homemade bombs were inside a van driven by a man. 11 persons are confirmed dead, mostly paramilitary, who were manning the checkpoint. A soldier, civilians in the area, and a van driver. 7 others, mostly soldier who were responding in the area, were injured.
Na-stop yung van at chine-checkpoint na ito. Nung they found, they saw the driver uneasy. That's why nagpatawag ng reinforcement upang tumulong at tingnan yung sinasabing van when it exploded.
Sa loob ng van, allegedly, nandoon yung driver na ayaw bumaba. So, nung paglapit ng mga scout ranger at saka mga nag-surround yung CAFGO, so yun na, pumutok na yung van.
The military says the culprit is the Abu Sayyaf group led by Furuji Indama. Furuji Indama's group has a history of kidnapping and other terroristic activities. The identity of the driver is still unknown, but some reports say he could be a foreigner, something that the military has yet to confirm. As of now, the military is not considering the incident as a suicide bombing.
We cannot say that this is a foreign terrorist or a foreigner driver because he himself was killed in the blast. The initial personnel of the AUP who had contact with this lone driver also succumbed and died instantaneously in this incident.
Defense analyst Romel Banlawi says Furuji Indama's group has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. And while the Abu Sayyaf in Basilan is slowly losing its strength, Banlawi believes that they are still capable of launching massive attacks.
They have lost strength, but they have not been totally eradicated. So they can still create a lot of trouble in Mindanao. They still have the capability to mount such massive attacks, and they have the intention to do that.
The military reveals it had prior intelligence information that the ASG plans to attack portions of the province, a reason why they intensified checkpoint operations in various areas.
Napakalakas nitong bombang ito, itong mga IED na ito, at we cannot just imagine how this, the tragedy that this will bring to the people of Basilan kung ito ay hindi natin nahinto sa ating checkpoint.
Malacanang condemns the attack, calling it a war crime. It also calls on security officials to review the capability of the country's intelligence units.
I do not know how it happened, but what I'm saying is illegal acts will happen whether or not we have intelligence communities. But perhaps, one thing that the military and security establishment must look into is their intelligence capability.
Last week, President Rodrigo Duterte expressed his willingness to talk with the Abu Sayyaf group. But the palace clarifies that the president has just enticing ASG members to surrender. Authorities have further intensified their security efforts in the area after the incident. George Kailes, CNN Philippines.
The tug of war for the minority leadership continues at the House of Representatives. Today, congressmen still debating on who should be the rightful leader. Our Joy Silas tells us more.
Not one, not two, but three groups are each claiming to be the real minority bloc at the House of Representatives. There's a group led by ABS Party List Representative Eugene De Vera, backed by former House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez and former House Majority Leader Rudy Fariñas. In a letter to House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, De Vera states he has accepted Alvarez, Fariñas, and 12 of their allies' application to the minority bloc. Fariñas earlier said De Vera should be the minority leader after Minority Leader Danilo Suarez voted for Arroyo, effectively abandoning his post. Fariñas said De Vera was Suarez's only deputy minority leader who did not support Arroyo.
They abandoned their positions by voting for the new speaker. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. The moment they participated in removing the speaker, they already crossed their Rubicon and they are already in the majority.
In the letter, De Vera assured Arroyo the group will cooperate with her leadership and with President Duterte's legislative agenda. Then there's Suarez's group, the minority bloc during the Alvarez speakership. Suarez and his allies maintain the reorganization only applies to the speakership and not to the minority leadership. Hence, there is no vacancy in the minority leadership. Suarez says he will not vacate his post, even though he openly supported Arroyo.
Retiring from Congress as minority leader is something that I visioned to wind up my career as the minority leader. Matagal na rin kasi akong lagi nasa minority and plus the fact I don't want them to take my office. I build that office myself.
If two's a company, three's a crowd. But not for the Liberal Party and its allies and the Makabayan Bloc, led by Marikina Representative Miro Kimbo. Strange bedfellows, the LP and the leftist militant group used to be at odds during the Aquino administration, but have united to oppose Arroyo's leadership. The 24-man group is composed of LP members and allies who abstained during Arroyo's election as Speaker and Makabayan Bloc members who voted against her. The group cites the House rules that those who voted for the Speaker is part of the majority, while those who did not is of the minority.
The issue about the minority is not about ambition, it's not about spoils, but right now, ang pinaka-importante rito is to have a real voice, the opposition voice in Congress.
Lagman says a minority leader and deputy minority leaders are important because they can attend and have voting power in important committees like Appropriation, Ways and Means, and in the Bicameral Conference Committee. He adds minority bloc members are also given proportional representation in all committees. Lagman says it is important that the recognized minority bloc is given to those who will make sure proper checks and balances are in place.
Members of the Supreme Court have chosen their top nominees for Chief Justice. The 10 justices not vying for the position each voted whether they are in favor or against the appointment of each candidate. 10 justices back Associate Justice Lucas Bersamin, Associate Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro, and Diosdado Peralta each got 9 votes, and Associate Justice Andres Reyes, the second most junior magistrate, had 2 votes. Also vying for Chief Justice but not included in the voting is Tagum Judge Virginia Tejano Ang. The Judicial and Bar Council, or JBC, will come up with a final list of names from which President Duterte will choose a new Chief Justice. The JBC will be informed of the Supreme Court vote, but it does not need to follow it. As lawmakers prepare for next year's midterm elections, the Senate body approves in principle a bill giving discounts on political advertisements. And as our Cecil Arizabal tells us, a lawmaker says this is by no means a self-serving act.
Political candidates may not have to spend that much in future campaigns if bills aimed at reducing the cost of political advertisements pull through. Senator Coco Pimentel, chair of the Committee on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation, approved in principle a law providing candidates discounted rates on political advertisements. These rates are significantly lower than usual commercial rates.
The industry players, TV, broadcast, and even print, do not really object to giving political candidates discount compared to the rates given to commercial advertisements. So yun po yun. So agree kami lahat doon. It's just that it's now in the amount.
A counterpart bill at the House of Representatives was approved on third and final reading last year. The House version is expected to give a 50% discount on ads and propaganda across all media outlets. Some senators argue that political advertisements must be given some incentives, as candidates are not selling products from which they could earn a profit. Instead, they are seeking a platform to explain their programs of governance to the voters.
Maybe yung mga station, hindi naman nila masyadong mahala. Because this is a political exercise, hindi naman to advertisement for product commercial.
Once approved into law, the regulation on political ad rates will be applicable during the 2019 elections. Pimentel was quick to deny the law will only benefit lawmakers who are running for next year's midterm elections. Pimentel and Villar are both re-electionists.
Ang advantage is actually leveling the playing field. Now, because if you use it per station, who can afford 180, 120 minutes per station except the richest candidates? So that even candidates with modest means can aspire to be senator, congressman, president, vice president.
The hearing also urged the Commission on Elections to submit a formal explanation involving Smartmatic's conduct of the 2016 national elections. Smartmatic has been chosen by COMELEC to provide voting counting machines.
Puno na kami.
Senate President Tito Soto had previously accused Smartmatic of so-called irregularities in the May 2016 elections. One allegation is the early transmission of votes. Pimentel warns COMELEC and Smartmatic to step up, or else the government will shift to hybrid elections, which is a combination of manual and automatic process. Cecil Ardizabal, CNN Philippines.
A principal suspect in a multi-billion peso housing loan scam will face lesser charges in court. This after the Supreme Court downgraded the charges against Delphine Lee, president of property developer Globe Asiatique, from syndicated estafa to simple estafa. The Court of Appeals earlier cleared 2 of Lee's 4 co-accused. This means he could no longer be prosecuted for syndicated estafa, an offense committed by 5 or more persons. Lee can now post bail. Lee, who was arrested in 2014, was indicted for allegedly defrauding government of more than 6 billion pesos in loan proceeds for home buyers. It was later found out that the transactions had fictitious or incomplete documents. Taxi fares here in Metro Manila going up as transport authorities begin recalibrating taxi meters for new rates. AC Nichols tells us more.
From higher electricity rates to pricier basic goods, it seems consumers can't catch a break from rising prices. Now, even cab rides will cost more as the LTFRB begins resealing and recalibrating taxi meters for higher rates. This process comes almost a year after the taxi fare hike was approved in October last year. Only taxis with resealed and recalibrated meters can apply the new rates. These are taxis with a golden seal on their meter and a yellow sticker on the windshield that says it's been approved.
Pero kung wala pa po yung mga indications na yon at naniningil na ng bagong rate yung taxi, pwede ho yung makasuhan ng overcharging.
With a resealed and recalibrated meter, a cab driver can charge a distance rate of 1350 pesos per kilometer. Another 2 pesos per minute for the total running time will be added. This means the passenger will have to shell out more the longer he or she is stuck in traffic. Among the requirements for resealing and recalibration is the modernization of units by installing certain upgrades like dashcam, GPS, and Wi-Fi. This is in compliance with franchising guidelines issued by the LTFRB as part of the government's PUV modernization program.
Sana, worth it naman kasi wala naman kaming ibang negosyo. Ito lang din pinagkukunan namin.
Taxi drivers, meantime, are hoping they can now compete with ride-hailing apps here like Grab. But some worry taxi operators or owners might raise their daily boundary or quota.
Maging mabuti para sa amin, pero sa dami rin namin kompetensya, hindi lang naman Grab. Sa tingin ko magiging komportable kami na makipagsabayan sa kanila.
Medyo may konting laban. Kaya lang ang inaalala rin namin, baka ako yung idadagdag doon sa metro, baka mapunta na naman sa boundary.
Around 29,000 taxicabs will have their meters recalibrated for the adjusted rates nationwide. AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
Trains will be running to and from Caloocan and Makati again beginning tomorrow, August 1st, 20 years after the Philippine National Railway stopped operating the route. PNR General Manager June Magna told CNN Philippines the line from Caloocan to De La Rosa in Makati was closed in 1998 as it was supposed to be used by the now defunct North Rail project. The reopened line will take in commuters while a new Tutuban-Malolos railway project is underway. The first trip from Caloocan to De La Rosa will leave at 5:37 a.m. The last trip is at 3:45 p.m. First trip from De La Rosa to Caloocan will begin at 6:22 a.m. Last trip, 4:28 p.m. Minimum fare, 15 pesos. Conflicting claims on the violent dispersal of workers protesting in Bulacan. 200 workers of food condiment giant Nutri-Asia were holding a strike outside the Marilao, Bulacan plant yesterday. They were calling for their regularization. Violence erupted when rocks started flying through the air, leaving several protesters bloodied. Protesters claim police started it, but Nutri-Asia claims the workers were the ones who fired a gun and started throwing rocks at the guards and police. Authorities arrested 20 workers who took part in the protest. This is the second violent dispersal of Nutri-Asia workers this year. Nutri-Asia is one of the largest producers of condiments in the country, including known brands like Dato Puti, Mang Tomas, UFC, Papa, and Jufran. The hashtag boycott Nutri-Asia is trending online following the violence in Bulacan. Twitter user Baj Santiago says it's sad to think that people choose to turn a blind eye to the maltreatment of workers. Another netizen says, quote, "Hindi makatao, Nutri-Asia should not get away with this," unquote. CJ Lagarista tells the public to think of the families of contractual workers who are suffering from low wages and who have no job security. She says, quote, "Wag manhid," unquote. Edison Provido says he uses a lot of Nutri-Asia products, but now he's committing to boycott the condiment company, even if it means he has to alter recipes of the dishes he cooks. And finally, Ace Bagtas addresses Nutri-Asia, saying it proliferates the culture of worker abuse. He tells the company, quote, "You've got blood on your hands." Consumer prices may have further ballooned in July to nearly 6%. That is the latest forecast of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It sees inflation settling at 5.1 to 5.8%, faster than that in June, which is already the highest in 5 years. Central Bank points to the impact of higher electricity and water rates, fuel prices, excise tax on tobacco, as well as higher prices of basic commodities. The inflation target this year has been adjusted to 4.5% from 2 to 4%.
Then Delphine Lee is charged with from syndicated estafa under Article 315 as amended to simple estafa. As a consequence, the respondent Lee, who is the accused in cases below, is entitled to post bail as a matter of right. As with the previous item, the Senior Associate Justice did not disclose the identities of the justices who voted, but the vote is 7-5 with 2 taking no part. Last item, GR numbers 212-761-62. Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada versus Office of the Ombudsman, the Sandigan Bayan, Field Investigation Office of the Ombudsman, National Bureau of Investigation, and Attorney Levito D. Baligod, consolidated with GR numbers 213-473-274, De Asis versus Morales, People and Sandigan Bayan, and GR numbers 213-538-39, Napoles versus Carpio Morales, and Sandigan Bayan and People of the Philippines. The court, voting 6-4, with 4 taking no part, upheld the Ombudsman's earlier finding of probable cause against Petitioner Estrada. That is all. Questions? Ina. London, yeah. Huh? Plunder and graft. Yeah. I don't have the dispositive, but most likely because it is a interpretation, unless the court specifies that it is retroactive, it will usually not be retroactive. However, there's a principle in law that says that if there is a favorable benefit to an accused, it can be retroactive. But that's only for criminal laws. This is a constitutional provision. So, nasa kanila yun kung ika-claim nila.
They did not say na retroactive.
I have not seen the dispositive portion. This was simply dictated to me by the Senior Associate Justice. Well, the provision is in the Constitution. Speedy disposition of cases, not to be confused with right to speedy trial. Those are two different provisions. Speedy disposition starts from preliminary investigation and not before.
So that pertains to cases pending before preliminary investigation?
Any cases, well, any cases with preliminary investigation. I have not seen the dispositive portion. I have not seen the ruling yet.
And that was as Supreme Court spokesperson Theodore speaking about decisions of the Supreme Court, namely the downgrading of charges from syndicated estafa to simple estafa for housing developer Delphine Lee. Mr. Lee is now entitled to bail according to the Supreme Court. Now, also in the case of former Senator Jinggoy Estrada, the Supreme Court upheld the Ombudsman's findings of probable cause in the graft and plunder cases against him.